Spice.
Oh,
I'm sure if you've been paying any attention, if you're a fan of dancehall and reggae music, you had to have seen Spice somewhere, whether it's in the media or socially, recently. Spice has been very hot lately, very hot. You know, and to my brethren them out there where things Spice sexy and would I take one of her Spice, you know what me I talk about too. She seems to be on a media tour of some sorts, right? She have a song named Wine Go Down There in collaboration with Shaggy and Sean Paul. Very big. It seems she's heavily connected just because of this song and maybe others. It seems like they're doing work with Sean Paul, Shaggy. It seems VP Record is also putting in effort behind this, whatever projects you have going on.
Yes,
whatever bad relationship or whatever they had in the past, it seems like all that is clear away and in the background. My question is, what are your thoughts on this? Spice, is she the one? Did you notice that she has been all over the place as well? How you feel about that, Oliver?
Well, Spice has been active. She's always worked hard. Big up Spice to all the people them out there who may, some people now really might agree with how she, is sometimes. They might feel she too raunchy. She has said that herself, but this is who Spice is. And she's kept true to who her personality and character is. I have to give her credit for the hard work she does, and she's a hard-working person. Consistently, and it's harder in our industry, especially that's dominated by men, and in our culture in Jamaica where women tend to maybe not always be in the forefront. She's somehow found a way to stay relevant for probably close to 20 years now. And yet still this is her debut album, right? She hasn't dropped an actual album. But she's been all over media in America. A recent interview today, actually, on Breakfast Club. She explained why she has not put out an album. And she said there was some paperwork problems with her. And VP Records. Big up VP Records as well. Yeah. But for whatever reason, look, if anyone watch the interview, they should try to watch it. Shaggy gave a very good explanation, and I think Shaggy should try to mentor more. He probably has, because he seemed as if he's connected with people. Not everyone is receptive. He said that. But Shaggy could teach a course in the music business. You could tell the understanding level of music business was at peak level.
Okay.
And he said the contract was that's not in her best interest. She entered the contract at a young age. It was not favorable. And even a person like Spice, who at the time she entered this contract was about 10 years ago. Spice was already hot, right? And she did not have represented. So this is she did not have an attorney. She did not have a manager. And I was surprised that only recently, since Shaggy got involved, apparently, she now has a manager. She's been doing everything on herself.
Wow.
And kudos to her that she could have managed. She said she did PR, everything, dressing, everything. And sometimes you have to do that. But I was very surprised that at this stage in the game, she did not have a full team around her. And we said this over and over. If you don't have a team, go ahead.
I believe she had a team, but just not the team as you just described. She had a team, though.
Yes, she did, but she didn't have an organized team based on the business and the music structure of what you need. She didn't have a PR person, a manager, a stylist, so to speak. So, but Shaggy said he came in and fixed that relationship, restructured the deal. And a lot of entertainers and artists need to understand that. Get yourself an entertainment lawyer. Get yourself a proper accountant. Go into these deals, businesses, understanding what it is you're doing. And
cash is a factor, Oliver. So, someone of you know, me and humble beginnings are maybe even knowledge, we're not even going to dispute people's intelligence, but maybe not on that level in their careers. How does someone like that get maybe an entertainment lawyer or maybe even the attention of a notable manager? How?
Cash is a issue, but there are ways to structure deals. Also, you can choose attorneys and maybe get a list, right? Sometimes people tend to think, oh, granted, the bigger the attorney working with a bigger firm, the more connections they will definitely have, right? More experience, maybe even. But there are other entertainment and lawyers within our own culture, right? That people can reach out to. You got to reach out to them and at least get some idea what you're getting into. And even if you do it on an hourly wage, there retainer agreements and agreements you can make. I guarantee for artists just for review a contract won't probably cost them more than $3,000.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're getting to the point where you're signing major contracts, you should have at least can say to an attorney then, here is some of the money up front and we'll work out the arrangement. There are ways to do this, but you won't know if you don't call. There are also attorneys that will structure a deal for you that says, I'm not going to take it up front, but I'll work with you. And if you get more business and we'll help you get business, they'll take a percentage cut off of each contract or whatever.
So, I think the gist of what you are saying, which may go comment in my comment, which something based off what me ever say. This has to do with, so don't just think of a lawyer or a manager as just that and like they're separate from you. It's the relationships that you build.
Yeah.
Right? Because you may not be patronizing these lawyers or managers, it's still good to be friendly to get to know who they are, just in case you may need their services. Right? And in this case, I can specifically say one thing that is clear, right? And all up-and-coming artists should take note of this. The reason why all of this is coming to fruition with Spice is because of first of all, the hard work that she's put in, and the relationships that she's built. And right now, the link up because of relationships and connections between Sean Paul and Shaggy. And she specifically said she reached out to Shaggy. I think she said she DM him. And
jumped in his DM.
Yeah, and asked him about a collab. And, he agreed. And it started from there. She wasn't intimidated by that. But she felt like, and it ended up work. Something started from there. And from there, I don't know if she suggested or somebody suggested, how about getting Sean Paul on this? And I think maybe Shaggy made the call or somebody just reached out to him and he was down. Off what it seems like a simple, quick question. She said 24 hours later on both sides, it turned into something, into them recording and sending back their portion, right? So people, an up-and-coming artist, the one that we even have tribe right now, we just want to make this clear, say, look, it's the relationship that you build and the people you surround yourself with. Them say, show me a company, tell you who you are, because people can make that judgment. If you're hanging out with a bunch of scammers, them can only share scamming information with you. If you're in the music business and you want to grow musically, you need to collaborate and form relationships.
Who's best to learn that from Shaggy and Sean Paul, who have done it at a higher level than them and still doing it? No, Shaggy, I honestly believe, I don't know if this is something you would want to do because this would take a lot of effort, but Shaggy would be great at executive producing other people's projects. More artists. I wish they would even if it's just background, listen to him and get some advice.
I think he's already doing that.
He is, but he said some artists will even link him up. His words are rude. Yo, a legend, blah, 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 big artist. But I could do something now. And he's like, I'm willing. And then when I call him on them don't answer the phone, don't call me back. And he's saying Sean Paul has these issues too, where he will record the songs, all the artists for the video, them don't come.
So what is it? Lack of professionalism? What is it?
That's part of it.
What you think? So you think on top of lack of professionalism, you think even though them big up the artists deep down inside them no respect and rate the artist then, or maybe them feel like what them are doing is different from what Sean Paul and Shaggy is doing. What do you think?
It may be that, but what they need to realize, and Shaggy said it, whether they believe it or not, Shaggy and Sean have found the formula.
I believe so.
And whatever that formula is, they might be able to clue you into that formula. I think professionalism go a long way, and how we carry ourselves. Look, you can look and do the eyeball test and put your own research and analysis into it. And you can say to yourself what it is that Shaggy and Sean Paul has that maybe other artists don't have, right? And a lot of people are going to jump to the easy thing, what they can see aesthetically. Or them both light skin, them both this, them both have that kind of ear.
Oliver, it seems like we take over this segment about Spice talking about Sean Paul and Shaggy, but I think it's pertinent. It's important. But go ahead.
It's important because I can see from her interview that she is gaining knowledge from it.
Yeah.
And I could tell even her interviews are better. Even the way she interacted today was different. And she even tell you said she learning things. She said it.
So stick up in there some.
Yeah.
You say even our interviewing was better than our interaction. You can't tell me, sir, on some of the first few interviews, maybe the Good Man, was it Good Man in America?
Yeah.
One of them things there.
Good Man in America.
Look, honestly, she got asked a question and I was like, yo, please keep my fingers crossed. I'm like, please don't screw this up. And honestly, how she responded, I'm like, yo, I have nothing for about Spice.
A plus. Eloquently done. She understand the whole history of dancehall as well.
Yeah.
Right? And reggae music. I want to, look, Spice has come this far and I really want her to win because she's built herself up on social media.
Yeah.
It's also through love and hip hop. She's doing the work. And I like you said, I don't want to make it seem like this was a Sean Paul Shaggy.
Yeah.
But I just want people to make the connection of what it is that makes the difference.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I see, and let's put Spice now in this argument then.
Yeah.
What is the three things that you see between the three that you will say is different now or from other artists? One, the work ethic of
Definitely.
all three of those artists are
Definitely.
top tier, right?
Stick a pin before you mention the other. That in itself, that's why I'm going to say, show me your company, tell you who you are. Yeah. I don't believe if Sean Paul and Shaggy did not connect with Spice on that level as far as her work ethic and the energy she's been putting out in the world, I don't think they probably would have done the
I think that's why they said we're going to do it. Because and plus Sean Paul has worked with her before on the Stylo G Dumpling remix, and that was a big record.
Right.
So the other thing I see is professionalism.
Yes.
Right? Third is mindset, right? The mindset for let things roll off your sleeve, or the mindset to look at the bigger picture that it can be bigger. And they spoke on this, all of them, including Spice. And she said, a lot of small artists at Jamaica won't even come to me for ask advice or listen to me despite what I have done. Because their mindset is already made up that if I'm good at Jamaica, I'm good. The music is big. There's money out there.
Yeah.
Like, when are we going? Look, there's another topic that we should discuss at some point because people, if they've been part of the show, they might be surprised because I think I'm starting to change my tune to some degree. I'm more in the middle right now.
Yeah.
I completely change about the sound of the music and what we need to do. And I think I might be leaning and this is drastic for me, and Randy, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more to we need to find our sound again. And as
Yes.
much as I like what the little youths are doing, I'll be the first to say I've been schooled on certain things. We cannot keep doing too much of this. Everyone can do the trap.
Because all right,
Work.
let me bring in another artist.
But it's not going to work for everyone.
But let me bring in another artist that has been doing stuff recently that proved to me that we can't just dispel all of our built up from the old. So the Ground God Bounty Killer, he has put out a few singles which are definitely dancehall, and I can 100, maybe 1,000% tell you that they connect with them song them more than a lot of what you would call trap dancehall or whatever the case may be.
People don't want to hear it, brother.
Yes.
If you want money.
So I'm not saying that the younger folks can continue to do whatever, blend it. Like, let me share that.
Like Shaggy said, that's the future.
Yes.
We're not there yet.
So with everything that I'm seeing regarding Spice, right, and this perfect storm of events, it's clear to me that dancehall music should not be contained to the shores of Jamaica. How do you feel about that, Oliver? It shouldn't. You know, a lot of us complain about the appropriation of dancehall and people that take it and run with it overseas and do all type of things. Jamaica is too small for dancehall to be successful. If dancehall is to be successful, it has to be worldwide like everything else. I don't see why people are fighting and complaining about appropriation and all these things. It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
Right. You have to stop all on it so tight.
Right. So rather, I think dancehall entertainers should learn from the blueprint, like we just mentioned, from Sean Paul, Shaggy, Spice, maybe even a Junior Gang, and many other notable international acts. It's clear before a lot of this even come out or it reach to a certain level, we can already see the direction, we can feel the energy. Spice, do this one song, right, name? Go Down There.
Why not Go Down There?
I have heard this song so many times in so many places. And
already, right?
Look.
It's a big record already here.
Yes, and it might not be your favorite record, but I can tell you that the people that are tuning into dancehall and what it is, them love the record. Them love the record. First of all, Oliver, it's slow, it's simple. Them can easily understand every single word.
It was what I was trying to get to. What are the common? That was another trait. And if you listen to even Spice, she slowed it down on this record. And
Definitely.
I've always said, slow down the record so people can understand you. Even Afrobeat, slow down the record too, you know.
Yes.
Otherwise, the one them where I make it, them slow down the record. And we need to stop this stubborn. Like Ding Dong, I love Ding Dong, but him just spring to mind. Because I love that record him have, man a star. But I think that record probably would have been bigger if it slowed down a little bit. And maybe you can totally understand what it is.
Yeah, more clarity.
Yeah.
More clarity. Well, this next thing we have to say about this before we wrap up is this may be controversial. Let me declare that from up front. But I don't think there is a question. It is pretty clear to me, if not to you, that Spice is now the queen of dancehall. If there's any argument against that, I would like to hear it.
She's been. And I don't know who else right now can come close to her. Now, if you want to put, I hate that people pit her against Lady Saw. Lady Saw is no longer doing music.
Yeah.
So the crown is vacant. Stop comparing her to Lady Saw. It's a different generation. She's the crown and the queen right now. Right?
Definitely.
And Lady Saw had her run here too internationally. But it's her time now. And let Spice do her work and let her put in the time. and
So
big
yeah.
for your accomplishments.
So let's give Spice our flowers, as Oliver always said, while she's here and while she is doing
because
it
we
big.
know it wasn't easy for her to.
No.
We know that.
Right. So people, if you're not willing to put in as much work as Spice does, if you're not willing to develop yourself and be as professional as Spice, go ahead.
Develop yourself. That's such a great way to sum up the whole thing. It's obvious that Spice has been doing some work on herself.
Yes, right? Yes.
Because she's not the same Grace we knew from the beginning.
Exactly. She isn't.
Grown up.
She isn't. And we all know Spice to be this explosive person, but you can't tell me say that. Yes, people can go 0 to 100 real quick, but our professionalism is shining.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean,
her mindset, you can tell. Her mindset is one of optimism and possibilities and going over or through hurdles. Just listening to her, she's not too worried about who don't like her, who don't this, who don't play her record. She's just focusing on.
Oliver, I think she's in a happier place in her life right now because it seems like that also has something to do with it.
That usually has something to do with it. She might be in a happier place. I'm not sure if it means that it has something to do with another person. Yeah. But it might just be happiness in understanding her journey, accepting that this is the journey and not trying to fight it. And Shaggy actually said something like that to her, that initially it was hard trying to explain to her, you don't have to be 100 every time. Sometimes you can take days off to fall back and just be calm. Right. And I think more artists need to learn that. And those little tidbits is why I think they should reach out to Shaggy. And I think it would be nice if he could teach a course on this.
I think that is important. That is important. I don't want the artists to be overwhelmed. I don't want either Sean Paul, Shaggy, or Spice to be overwhelmed to the level where a lot of what we're seeing now breaks down. But people, as I mentioned, and as Oliver has mentioned during this conversation, the relationship that you build will allow you to reach the similar levels to Spice, Sean Paul, and Shaggy.
Just one more point before we go to Randy. It's not just Shaggy and Sean, and even though this was Spice, but I just felt the need to. There's Buju Banton, there's Beanie Man. Regardless how you feel about any of these artists, there's Bounty Killer. You're gonna like one of them or two of them. Right? There's even Mr. Vegas. There's Conscience. There are artists who have reached some level. Busy. Talk to them. Yeah. Reach out to them. Don't be too proud, like, oh, that man are, or dismissive, that man, they're older. Spragga Benz, talk to them and find out how them remain so relevant for so long. And how was it that they made that transition to the international market?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why.
If you don't agree or if you have anything to say beyond what we have said that you want to, whether question us or, whatever the case may be, throw it in the comments. We'll try our best to respond and chop it up with you. Again, this is the Reggaecy. And Reggaecy is legacy. Big up yourself, Oliver.
Legacy. Come on.
Until next time.
Big up yourself, people. Big up yourself, Randy. Until next time.
Come on, respect.